Hello! Ladies and gentlemen, the Nations League final draw has just happened. Each of the 4 teams competing got first place in the group stage in League A. The 2 matches we have are Netherlands versus Croatia and Spain versus Italy. 2 huge matchups filled with possibilities. It's ridiculous to underestimate any of these teams right now, and all these matches will be played in Rotterdam in June. It's far away, I know, but in honor of the drop just happening, I figured to share my very early predictions, which very much could change, by the way, as right now there is some uncertainty for some of the teams we're going to be talking about today. Over the next 5 or so months, we really could see some of these national teams evolve, some somehow decline in these qualifiers, which could definitely change up our thoughts, but figured to just start the discussion anyway. Let me know your thoughts as always in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave an early like. Let's try to hit 1,500 likes for this video. So starting straight away with Netherlands versus Croatia. Both of these teams definitely had a solid World Cup run. We saw Netherlands make it all the way to the quarterfinals. They got knocked out by Argentina on penalties, and to be fair, they put off a brilliant fight there. That last minute set piece was unforgettable. Croatia also got knocked out by Argentina, but in the next round, in the semis, and their scoreline was a lot heftier for sure, 3-0. Before Netherlands were defeated to Argentina, they were actually on a pretty solid unbeaten run. They were on a 19-match unbeaten streak. The last time they lost was in the Euros against Czech Republic, which wasn't a good look for sure, but yeah, they very much improved since then. Their Nations League group was pretty difficult. They topped the likes of Belgium. A lot of players are being mentioned quite a bit. This nation is known for having loads of young talent shine. One in particular, Cody Gakpo, who has just signed for Liverpool, went on to have a fantastic World Cup. And he definitely earned that Liverpool transfer because his numbers at PSV were insane. They obviously have so many options in the back line to utilize. In terms of the attack, it'll be interesting to see how Weghorst performs at Manchester United. But something worth noting about this nation, which could lead to some unpredictability, is the fact that they are shifting managers. Louis van Gaal was the manager in 2022 during the World Cup, the one who has kept this unbeaten record for the Dutch until they faced Argentina. Now Koeman will be taking charge, and he's already had experience coaching the national team. He was there from 2018 to 2020, but left to take the Barcelona job. Things didn't go out well there, but now he's back for the Dutch. He's definitely going to be changing things up though then from how Netherlands have played under Van Gaal, as he already vowed to play more attacking football. He has stated that he'll be playing with 4 in the back instead of what Van Gaal's been playing with 5. And not to mention, there's no way Netherlands won't have some slight advantage as they're playing at home. But with that being said, let's be honest, throughout recent times, it's always a mistake to underestimate Croatia. The side that since becoming an independent nation have made it to the top 3 placements in 3 World Cups, twice back-to-back. The country that defeated so many people's favorites to win the entire tournament of the World Cup, Brazil. The only position that maybe people will be questioning this side for is their striker role. Kramaric looks to be their best option, but he can be very inconsistent. We gotta praise Petkovic for scoring that goal against Brazil, but will he be able to deliver against the Dutch as well? I'm sorry, but Budimir definitely won't be able to. Who knows though, maybe at this point in the international break before this, Croatia will have tried new strikers out. But still, regardless, they don't look confident in that position. Everywhere else though, it's looking great. People are doubting the goalkeeper position as well, but Livakovic has proved so many people wrong, obviously, having a tremendous tournament. Winning 2 penalty battles, even against Brazil, is extremely impressive. Then, of course, you have that improved back line with Gvardiol being one of the best defenders at the World Cup. Other youngsters fueled like Juranovic, Sosa, both of them make some mistakes, but sometimes they really do make up for them. They also got some of the most incredible midfielders, Luka Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic. I've been over this with you guys so many times. To me, they still have one of the most complete midfields ever. So even if there's an issue at the striker role per se, this side definitely still can pull through. To be honest though, I'm a bit upset about this draw. I think we would have been better off with one of the other opponents. All these sides are great, don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely more nervous to face Netherlands. These sides actually head-to-head both have only 1 win against each other. They've only played twice in history. The Netherlands haven't won a trophy in some time. Croatia have never won a trophy. They want to grab their first. Perfect opportunity to do so. They're so close once again. I'm going to edge it towards Croatia. I have to. I think it will finish 1-1 and go to penalties. And we all know you don't want to face Croatia in penalties. That's my prediction for now. Could change. We'll see how Croatia do in these qualifiers as they are in a very doable group. So if they struggle there, I might change my mind and be more skeptical. But right now, I'm feeling confident in Croatia. I gotta back them. So I will say Croatia beat the Dutch, but I'm not underestimating Netherlands whatsoever. I know what this side are capable of. And like I said, I'm a bit upset that we have to face them in the first round. I was at least hoping to face them in the final, or even better, just avoid them completely. But regardless, best of luck to them. Fantastic side. We'll see what happens. Now moving on to the next matchup, Spain versus Italy. Unlike Netherlands versus Croatia, this matchup actually has so much history behind it. Their overall record consists of Spain beating them 12 times, Italy beating them 11 times, and them drawing 16 times. Not to mention this matchup happened in the last Nations League semifinals, and Spain were the winners, beating them 2-1. But going back just a bit earlier, these sides faced each other in yet another semifinal in the Euros, and Italia were able to beat them on penalties there. Now obviously the history goes back even further, but there's still so much to talk about between the two now. You gotta give credit to Italy. After they failed to qualify for the World Cup, they kept their heads up and topped their difficult Nations League group. And also we gotta talk about how incredible Hungary were. They were able to beat Hungary twice, which is what set them apart, 1 point in front of them. We'll no longer be seeing that iconic center back duo Bonucci and Chiellini, but they still have a lot of other solid center backs to rely on. Giorgio Scalvini, the 19-year-old on Atalanta, has been terrific, and Alessandro Bastoni in Inter Milan is definitely making his mark as well. But even in the attack, no more Insigne. So hopefully Chiesa finds that Euro 2020 form once again. And they even still got youngsters like Noto and Raspadori. There's obviously a lot of other players to mention, but they're not the only ones bringing a lot of youngsters in. So are Spain. Enrique, who was criticized at first for leaving out so many veterans, ended up making it to the semifinals with a bunch of youngsters that pulled through instead, like utilizing Unai Simon instead of David De Gea, leaving out Sergio Ramos from the squad. People obviously had some hesitations, but they still trusted him before the World Cup started. But this time he got knocked down the round of 16s to Morocco, and after just looking toothless in that match, he parted ways with the national team. So now Luis de la Fuente is the new manager in charge. He has managed quite a few clubs back in the day, but in recent times, and I'm talking about the past decade, he has simply worked his way up from the U19 team to the U21 team to the U23 team, and now he is finally managing the senior team. He has obviously earned the federation's trust, as he's won a decent amount of silverware with the younger squads. Spain obviously play with such a particular identity on the pitch, and with him already having experience with the younger squads, it seems like he'll still be able to kind of keep up that momentum in that regard. But will they be able to look dangerous in front of goal against a very strong Italian defense? Spain versus Italy is genuinely a flip of a coin. We all know that based on the history. I mean, the stats are looking real even on both countries. And Spain is probably that most uncertain team at the moment as, yeah, they got a new manager. We already kind of know how Mancini operates. He kept his job even though he didn't qualify for the World Cup due to the Euro success. My opinion could very much change. I really want to see how Spain do in those qualifiers, of course. But I'm going to say Italy make it through to the next round, where it simply just finishes 2-1, just like last time, except this time going Italy's way. Obviously, Italy will have tougher tests coming up against them earlier on, as they're in the same group as England in the Euro qualifiers, but it will still be interesting to see how both the teams handle the pressure. The quote-unquote underdogs in Spain's group are definitely ones to not mess with. Scotland, Norway, and Georgia can all put off a fantastic fight against them. So we'll see what happens with the new manager, and I'll see if I end up changing my mind on this one, but for now I'm going with Italy. So for that third place match between Netherlands and Spain, I'm going to go with Netherlands on this one, simply with their impressive track record lately. It'll be interesting to see how both new managers operate, like I said, but I think Netherlands will just edge them. I'll go for a very narrow 1-0 victory for the Dutch. But then that first place matchup between Croatia versus Italy. I'm gonna get slammed in the comments, but I don't care anymore. I'm going for Croatia to win this 2-1. It's about time we see this man lift an international trophy. He deserves it. With Italy still going through that transitional phase, I think Croatia will just be able to edge them. Call me biased, I don't care. But the fact that this side has made it to third place in the World Cup after so many people doubted them just goes to show that this prediction isn't really that crazy. In fact, I don't think any prediction is that crazy for this, because I think all of these sides right now have their strengths and their weaknesses. There is a solid claim for any of them to crumble or shine. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below what you think will happen in June. I'll probably do an update video on this, as this is way too early to talk about, but I still figured to start the discussion. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and like this video, and make sure you stay tuned as we gotta do an updated prediction video on the Euro qualifier soon, along with the Champions League coming up. So lots of content to come. Thank you all for making it to the end. I will see you all very, very soon. Take care. Lá com noite.